And good morning, everybody. It's Xinthar again, playing some Sunless Seas. How we all doing? Good, I hope. Let me know if I have fixed that stuttering issue that I had in the past. Because I know that I have had it in the past where it just stutters on occasion. I think I might just turn that music down a touch more. There you go, that's a bit better. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. Well, that's encouraging. And I break the game immediately upon loading it in. Well, that's good then. I'm glad it might have cleaned up. Let me just fix the game. Hold on, hold on. Nothing ever goes smooth, right, guys? Alright, let's try this again. With failing this time. Well, hopefully it continues to not be an issue. There we go, that looks a bit more... Nope. Have I broken my save? Well, that would be awkward if I've done that, because then I'd have to start again, and I'd rather not. Gladly, Vanessa. Well, thank you. Good to see you. If it's not one thing, it's another, that's for sure. Let's try loading the autosave directly and see if that works. Hey, there we go. Fixed it by doing nothing and guessing. Well, we do still have some echoes. I think that we need to get some repairs, and then we're going to work on getting a new ship by carrying saltstone. So let's crack on, shall we? Well, let's visit the university. Oh yes, the University Maritime Liaison whispers. Oh yes, this is quite a tasty one. Let me explain it to you. He explains, teeth glinting. So here we can do various things we have, and we can get money for them, I'm sure. Well, let's trade a Z story. That gives us 10 echoes. We'll lose all of those though. We have them in. How many of these outlandish artifacts? We have 4. Well, let's sell one of them. Oh, they're worth 100 each. That's very good. Let's quickly check our hold. We've got a lot of fuel, some supplies, Birkin prisoners' honey. That's good. Alright. We have spoken to the sisters. Sorry everyone, I'm just quickly gathering my bearings. Let's go see the Admiral. See if I've given off all that I can. Yep. Let's see, what else have we got? Favors. We have 6 favors. We've lost 1 captain so far. We have 1 menace suspicion. We need to retrieve strategic information from the Iron and Misery Company funging station, somewhere not far from home waters. Very good. Okay. Well, first things first, let's go and get some repairs. Ah, sorry, that's in the story section, isn't it? Dry dock. This will get us good. We have 3. We need 3. We have 6. 24 echoes to completely repair our ship, which is very good. Now we need some crew. We gain 3 crew for a total of 8. How many more echoes do we need? 10. Okay. May as well try and get up. Ah. Sea shanties, fine food, the warmth of a pub fire, and something more. Got some recent news out of it. Little trouble and romance. That night in Wolfstack, you find yourself sharing a table with a likely lass, a dapper chap, someone whose names you do not afterwards recall. We'll go with a likely lass. She tipsily claims to be a spy. Whatever she is, she's easy to like, and the evening ends, you're still together. The next morning, she gives you a pewter locket. As you reach for it, she grips it briefly in a fist. Don't you dare forget me, she says. A locket with a likely lass portrait. Lost 3 terror. Nice. Okay. We could go for more crew. You know what? Let's grab some final... Yep, that brings us up to 10. New total of 11. We have a max of 10, so we don't take them on. So what's our current money? 370. We have quite enough fuel. How much hull space do we need? Because I think I need 20. So I need to lose 6 fuel before we get to the salt lines. Alright, we can do that. Might be able to sell that prisoner honey, I think. Yes, we can sell for 20. Nice. It was free, so I'm happy to get rid of it. We need to lose 5 supply or 5 fuel, and we should easily get through that by the time we get there. Let's take a quick peek at our ship while we're at it. We have Pather Sage Reproach Cannon. What we can get for the bridge. Or the... No, let's focus on completing the quests. We'll set out, do a little bit of exploring, and then we'll loop back out to our good place up the top there and gather some saltstone. Our objective is up here. There's also Shepherd Isles, Abbey Rock, and Mud Island. We did go up to the Wither, so I think what we might do this time is just do a cut down in the round. Pick up some of these reports. Our goal this time is to pick up a new ship. And to fight crabs. One shot. Love to see it. Let's dissect it for knowledge. Very good. Set to work with your knives and acids. It is undistinguished adolescent specimen, a megalops, of one of the deep sea crab species, but its eyes, normally vestigial on these troglodytic beasts, are large and rather beautiful. The golden glow is almost gone now, although sparks leap now and then to your knife. Quick stop off to Quaker's Haven. Now we'll go for a quick exploration of the shore. Oh, a contest of riddles. That give me, that's a 60. We might try the easy one. As always, but we gained some fragments, so we're learning. That's always the point. I don't really need supplies or anything of the like, but we can chat to the fisherman. That gives us a port report. There's a mariner trait though before we can do anything else. Well, that's good. Off we go. We'll head up to Abbey Rock, because I think I have some recent news for them. They seem to be combat nuns of some description. We must hope to gain some important knowledge from them. One, because it pays really well, and two, because it can be useful later on in this game, I think. Being able to pick up tidbits and sell them to the Admiralty, which can help London become more of a power. Don't you dare forget me. You stand on the bridge with the Lecklilass locket in your hand. Keep it or throw it away? No, I'll keep it for the moment. I now have a sweetheart in London. Very nice. We have some news, so... The muscular prioress of the Abbess Lieutenant comes to the door to listen. She nods and makes notes. She pays particular attention to news of marsh bees, predations, and the traffic of rooftops. In return, she offers a rather perfunctory blessing, but the blessing reassures your crew. Compile a port report. Perhaps not. Well, I think that's enough for now. We have no shops or shipyards or anything of interest, really. We can head up to the Shepherd Isles, but we'll take a little bit of a detour here to the east and see what else we can find. Another crab for the pot. Quick work for my guns. Mirror, fragments. Nah, I think we'll just go for supplies on this one. Even though I really wasn't, particularly bad off. Station 3. Depot A. Yeah, I suppose we'll go and say hello. Station 3. We may infer a Station 1 and a Station 2. We may conjecture to a Station 4. Machinery hums behind high steel walls. Up the hill there are visible outlines, warehouses and a building with a spire, but the lamps are low where they burn at all, and your ship the only in harbour. We don't have a long box. Could try that. Well, let's have a look first. You stand on the high point of your ship and look out to shore. There's a steepled building on the horizon, by far the largest thing in sight. No cross marks the top of it, nor any other symbol you recognize. We now have a port report of Station 3. We can try the gate. The metal is steel hard and icy cold to the touch. Attempts with chisel and crowbars fail. Perhaps if you could bring the ship's guns to bear. But no. If you return with a certain delivery, the gate will be open. You'll know if you find it. Let's look for signs. You walk the quays looking for any little sign that might show what sort of ships dock here and what they deliver, but you find nothing conclusive, not even so much as a smear of pitch or a damp footprint. If any ship but yours has been tied here in recent days, it has left no evidence. Shops none, shipyards none. Alrighty. Off we go then. Let's make for the salt lines. Oh, a pirate. Would be unfortunate if someone brought law to the lawless out on these dark waters. See what we get. Loot and scuttle her. Not much. Got some fuel, which I'm happy with. Northward we go. This should give us more than enough fuel and supplies to get back to London. We might even take the long way down. Head back to London that way. Two basalt beasts, cathedral-sized. 20 units and 200 echoes. 20 sphinx stone. Nice. So we can take that for a good profit. Well, glad I can be nice and low energy for you, werewolf. We'll visit the Unmakers, gain some terror. We get funding from the bazaar, it's true, but Station 4, I wouldn't call us Station 4. It's a little grandiose. The stones are stuffed with secrets, but most of them are used as garden statuary, or occult ballast. Most of them, some of them go down to the places under the bazaar. Monty cakes? And let's grab ourselves a port report. Okay. And we still have 12 fuel. We can get quite far on 10 fuel, so I don't think they have any shops. Nope, nothing. Cool. We'll head to Venderbite. Ahoy, Drift Pirate. We might even go a little bit more north and clear some more of this map out. Ah. An Alcaeus class corvette. I wonder who this could be. Drat. Some lag missed me up there. Oof. Really wish you wouldn't shoot at me like that. Two health. Ah, gypped. Aha. Got him. Indeed, very appropriate. Captain, quick, there's over there, the port side. The pirate poet again. We met them last time and sent them a packing. Well, once again, I guess. The price of freedom. Takes 3 crewmen to pull the pirate port from the Zee's clutches. Well, Other mutter about bringing an unfinished man and unfinished woman aboard ship. She just smirks. She carries little on her but the verses of poetry tattooed over every visible inch and her old sword, almost chipped as she is. Fortunately, her salvaged possessions also include the jangling money purse on her belt, fat and ready to pay the traditional freedom price of our current bounty. Much as the crew could subdue her, all are relieved when she's aboard a lifeboat, rowing away through the darkness towards Gaida's Morn. That's 400 echoes, so that's very good. Cannot argue with that at all. For less than 10 damage. It was worth that little detour. Let's speak to our shady cook on the way there. How many secrets do I have? I have 4 secrets. Well, we can upgrade our heart twice. And ask him what he wants to do at sea. The sea of lilies, he licks his lips very slowly. Eventually you have to look away. Somewhere to the east central undersea. We'll get him there eventually. Once the Zee's taken its toll. A bit too close to the north if the snow is rolling in. I don't want to have to cheese my way out of another lifeberg. Ah yes, we can do full power to the engines if we ever so desire, but it will cause us damage. We've never really seen much use for that. I actually haven't read the Black Ocean series. If you recommend it, I might give it a go. The tomb colony of Vendemite. Let's do a quick gallivant around. Let's make an offering. And a tale of terror, nice. Prayer soothes the soul, they say. Your soul is not soothed. You wait, head bent, while the light in the chapel beats on the shadowless, unmoved. Nothing changes. The red of the place gets into your vision. The faces of your crew seem flush, as if fevered. You hear your own breathing echo rapidly. No one is sitting in the pews behind you. It doesn't stop you looking. The scene will stay with you. Perhaps you can write of it when you return to London. I lost an echo, but gained a tale of terror. And gained some terror, but that's normal in this game. We'll gather some gossip about tomb colonies. Got a port report. I think that's about all we can do here. Oh, there's a steam yacht. Trade for 1,000 echoes. What's different? 250, 70 hull, 3,000, quarters of 20, 10s to all. It's got deck, auxiliary, bridge, and engines. Interesting. Doesn't say anything about speed, though. Perhaps sometime in the future. Begin crab cycle. It didn't finish it off. Ooh. We'll grab it some knowledge for 25 fragments. Get our guns trained on this bat swarm. Damn, I was hoping we'd get it with that second shot. Into the pot with them. Oh, we seem to have drifted slightly off course, but that's not too bad at all. Where is Guider's Morn? Well, we haven't found it yet, so I guess we'll have to keep that on our radar. Let's go visit the sisters before we take our shipment to London. Unfortunately, we have no news, but we can reconnoiter the island. Forgive me. Ships rarely come here. Nothing changes, even the weather. The house at the heart of the island. The house and the sisters. But the Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing has changed, at least. We shall speak with Lucy. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidentially. A complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in the attic, and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. Got some supplies, lost all our hunger, and we have Stone's attention. Very good. The maid makes it clear through a series of unwelcoming growls that Phoebe, Lucy, and Cynthia are all three indisposed. No lunch today, apparently. Which is fair, we just ate lunch. And back to London we go. A short stint out, but profitable, I believe. I mean, being lactose intolerant won't kill you, so you can have a glass of chalky milk, but you just have the regret that comes with it. Speak to the Admiral. We'll give them Hunter's Keep for 5 echoes. Vendabite. Gain some new fuel. Station 3. Oh, 100 echoes for that one. This is my colleague Mr. Villain of the Ministry of Public Decency. Mr. Villain is the good captain's report is here, if you would care to. Yes, the fire, already lit. Let us, there we go. Now only the ashes remain. And it might have caused such a lot of trouble. Thank you, Captain. We appreciate your discretion. Here is your payment. You need not trouble yourself further in this affair. Gained 100 echoes and new accomplishment. We surveyed Station 3. We've gained 1 favors and 1 fuel. Nice. Abbey Rock. We categorize it as a military installation, you know, although it has the occasion some quite vigorous debate. 20 echoes, some more fuel. Assault lines. Good, we've still got some. New accomplishment, we surveyed the salt lines. 20 echoes. Good. And Quaker's Haven. 5 echoes. Very good. Where? There we go. Deliver our Sphinx Zone. Special constables, black uniforms, distinctive caps, badge of Ministry of Public Decency. Wait with a cart. Sign, sign, sign. Here's a receipt. Here's a discretion contract. Here's the penalty contract. Your vision is blurred by the end of it all. The cart rumbles off into the coiling fog. Here's your reward. 500 echoes, and I lose 2 terror. And I've delivered some Sphinx Stone. Nice, that gives us 1,247. New recruit. Engage an officer of the Carnelian Exile. The Exile is a first officer. The Tireless Mechanic. Or engage a Zayla. Oh, the Tireless Mechanic increases veils and fuel efficiency? Yes, please. Fuel efficiency plus 5%. I mean, it ain't much, but this game will kill you terribly. Pretty much Europeans are lactose tolerant, I believe. I can't remember the distincts of the story, but it was essentially that there is a few select people who are tolerant to lactose, and as a result, they drink a lot of milk. Like I say, I've never made a study of it, though. Dry dock. Here we go. It's good to call in those Admiralty favors for this. Shipyard. Can we afford a new ship? Not quite yet. We could get a... Ooh, 8,000 echoes to get a Caligo class merchant cruiser. Minus 5 veils, plus 5 hearts. For 15,000 echoes, though, we could get a Maynard class. Would be very good. Quarters 15, iron bonus 5. Deck forward, auxiliary, bridge, and engines. Interesting. Oh well, let's go get more Sphinx Stone. So we do have 12 fuel, so we don't need to worry about that. We'll grab a couple of supplies. We need to make sure we have 20 free, which we will, and probably take some more. Some interesting weaponry. Avid Suppressor. It's an aft. We don't have a spot for it yet. Well, very good. Oof. 1800 engine power, that is impressive. Let's just make some quick money, I think. Really, Megalops? Oh, he went underwater. Now, if he wants to avoid me, I ain't gonna fault him. I have no idea what's happening here. We'll take the veils. Fragments, sorry. I keep calling them veils. Is this another Alkeus? Oh no, it's just a steam pinnace. This will be easy to destroy. Yeah. Give it to the sea. Or hold on to it. I'll keep it. The crew are disappointed, but diamonds are diamonds. They got 30 echoes out of that, and 1 terror. Loot and scuttle her. And we get some supplies out of that. Very good. That didn't put us too high over there. Well, that's alright, we'll run out of fuel before then. Bats, always bats. Well, I'd hoped to finish this quickly. Dang it. Stop being impatient, me. Come on, Zoom. There we go. Much better. We'll just let them disappear. See if there's anything in range. Big crab, no thank you. Not that I couldn't take it, I just would rather not risk it. Maybe I won't have any choice. We'll just ignore it. And he'll ignore us. Sounds good to me. We'll grab our Sphinx Stone and be on our way. I'll carry some more Sphinx stone. No, salt rites. The face of the Northern Sphinx is all but gone. Lost faces are sacred to Salt. They say you were drawn there. To what end? Salt's voice is distant but clear. Dive from the Sphinx face down in a clean arc into your Zee's chilly darkness. Float there in the quiet till your lungs are bursting, till light blooms behind your eyes gasping to prickle of false stars, the shocked faces of your crew. You've brought something with you. Ooh, I've got an extraordinary implication. There you go. Zolt has left me alone. I've got the money, but I don't have the cargo. And straight back to London with us. Now we have the supplies, we'll invite him to dine with us. Thanks for the meal and the company. No wine. It makes me sleepy. Oh yes, I can sleep too easily. That's the problem. There's a draught. I take nightly to substitute for sleep. It works well enough, and it keeps me sane and upright. But I wish I could enjoy just one night's sleep. If you could help me, we need a clayman from Polythrene. We'll need a mirror catch box, and we'll need to go to Hunter's Keep. I'll explain when we get there. No, I'm serious. I would owe you a great deal. Rarely sold in London, but in the Carnate and occasionally elsewhere we can pick them up. Let's see. Well, I think we're going to go find the Carnate. I really don't want to fight the crab. Not that they're hard or difficult to defeat, but they're just an annoyance. Oof. Nope, I really don't want to deal with it. Oof, you've pushed your engines too far, too fast. Zayla's scream, flames rage. Heal the wounded, damp the flames, do what you can. Lost 7 hull for a new total of 23. I think I outrun it though. Well, we only lost 1 crew, but we lost a lot of health. Oh well, let's go pick up our supplies and deliver our Sphinx stone and get our money. Ah, messages from the harbour master. All the clatter and song of the dockside. Something has changed in the Neath. Someone wants to sign on. The blind bruiser attends to business on the dock. Another day, a free evening. The rose market hasn't changed because it's higher than 0. Good evening, Captain. What a marvellous evening it is, if you don't mind me saying so. And given it is my impression that you're an obliging sort, I imagine you will not mind at all. Since you're so very obliging, perhaps you wouldn't mind making a little detour via Mount Palmerston with a few articles of cargo. If you happen to be in the area, the cheery man will, of course, cover the expenses of this trifling inconvenience. I have one space. I do. Ask if there's another task you could perform instead. Well, if you have the vinegar, there's another matter which you might be able to assist me with. Ah, I'll take it. Now we have unstamped crate of brilliant souls. Generally northeast of London. Very good. Well, let's unload our saltstone. In another 500 echoes. Quite good, quite good. I don't really need more crew, but we do need to put our ship into dry dock. And I think we still have... Nope, not enough. Okay. We'll take the 100 echoes for 75. The Merchant Venturer. Merchant tugs your sleeve. Governor wants a word. A brooding figure waits in the lamplight's edge. I have need of a reliable agent. Failing that, an inventive one. Here are my requirements. It's a very specific need. He'll pay much better than the market rates, and he won't ask you how you came by these things. Something savage. Something bright. Northeast. Well, we're heading in that direction. It's where Scintillak comes from, around the 1,000 echoes. 7 Scintillak. Okay. Well, we don't have much to offer the Admiralty, so we'll have to buy our own fuel. Buy a lot of it as well. Well, to Mount Palmerston then. Yeah, the crawling stars. Lookout shouts far above. The false stars in the cavern roof are shifting. A rare and ominous event. What now? Record? It could go the way. Let's give it a shot. Ah, pigs, Bonzela sighs. It's always pigs. What's wrong with pigs? The bosun shakes a solemn head. Never ask about pigs at Zee, he insists. Better luck next time. Gain some terror though, but that's okay. We know Mount Palmerston is somewhere in this direction. Yeah, I've had that too. Where the crew just gets eaten. Eats me at the docks because their terror gets a bit too high or they're a bit too hungry, but we're like 20 minutes from the shore, realistically. I suppose we'll speak with Cynthia this time. The new tale of terror. Suppose we'll make a port report. Ah yes, we need to visit the cellar. Oh well, off we go. Really don't want to get eaten by the crab again. I'd like to keep my hull as intact as possible for this next stint. Good, I think we lost it. Spoke too soon. There's the crab. Yeah. Ah, confused one. Cranky co-workers are a way of life, though. Send out the bat, see what we can find on the darkness. Oops, my bad. Sorry, everyone. I got distracted. Still no desire to fight the crab. Oh, that's dangerous. The Chapel of Lights. Interesting. Not really much here, though. What can we do? Chapel of Lights. 30 faithful gather in the shadows between the many, many candles. A bell tolls in the chapel tower, cracked iron laughter. Beware, the isle is full of voices. Eat of the chapel's bounty. A smiling priest unlocks the door of the storehouse for you. Here, he says, eat, but take nothing away with you. Give a nightmare to the well. We have no menace unaccountably peckish or nightmares. Well, we can gather intelligence. A smiling priest in a red cassock tends to the chapel. The congregation is shy of light. They come and go in little ships, and it's strangely difficult to count them. Perhaps some of them are imaginary. Still, you note the name of a ship or two. Well, let's eat. And now I have a menace of unaccountably peckish. Well, let's attend a service. The great bell tolls. A few ragged faithful gather at St. Arthur's lesson. Bring your offerings. Ooh, that was not great for us. Priest maunders on about bones and fish and eggs, while the congregation sway ecstatically, or eyeball you suspiciously. Bored, you examine the frescoes on the walls. A hunched figure, sharpened flakes of stone above the pool. The castle rises frozen from the sea. Limbs coil from a star. Unhelpful, and now the service is over. Didn't succeed. And for 5, I really don't want to go through that again. Oh well. Time to leave. See what else we have, because we're still searching for Mount Palmerston. The avid horizon is some distance to the northeast. This looks foreboding. Indeed, straight to the Shadow Realm with them all. A curious miscellany gathered from all across the wide Black Sea. Your companion knows how to use these materials. 40 materials for the passage. Interesting. Let's gather the intelligence. Such there is to gather out here where nothing moves. This stillness is itself of interest to the Admiralty. It's not impossible for someone foolish might attempt to open the gate. It is not inconceivable that it might open from the other side, and what then? Your journey here may attract the attention of certain Crimson patron. Return your port report to the Admiralty in London to unlock a new story. Oh, I see. Interesting. Yes, this is what the rumors meant. A hunter frozen in the ice, hands contorted to claws, mouth agape. With her left hand she had plucked her own eye from the socket. Lies very close to the surface of the ice. The stories are true. There is a dark virtue in that eye. Take it to them. Perhaps you should put it in a jar. Lost 77 fragments for it. Well, I've just found some poor frozen person, and I've just taken the eye that they ripped out and put it into a jar. Well, let's look into the stars. And 1 fragment. It's not really worth it, considering I just lost 77. Alright, off we go. Into the black we go. See what else we can find. We still search for Mount Palmerston, or Guider's Morn. We do need to start heading back now. We'll just follow this path down south and then we'll turn in. In the watches of the night, you pad softly past the hatch to the crew quarters. A man cries out softly in his sleep, desperately. Another. 33% chance of success. Why not? Ah, we failed. The whole neath is lit up like a snuffer mask. There's something in the roof, Captain. It's the roof. It's watching us. Eyes and a face, eyes and a face. You have him subdued. No discipline this time, but you require your first officer to keep an eye on him. Gain 10 fragments, though. Lick a Monkey Crag. Someone needs to have words. The Dubois Maelstrom. Dodging the crab. Traverse the labyrinth of eels really quickly. And then we'll make for the salt lines again. Oh, a jelly fleur. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Now we gained a supply. It's worth it. So we'll pick up some more stone, Sphinx stone. We'll take that to London. Yes, we'll carry some of that. Thank you. Visit the makers. And off to London with our saltstone. Although we're quite close to Venderbite, and it would be advisable to pick up some more fuel. We'll switch off our light to save some fuel as well. Actually, we're carrying things we shouldn't be carrying. Going to London might be risky. Oh well. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Sorry, we should have gone round. Shook. Really, crab? Really? Gave him what for? I'll take the experience on that one. At the very least, we can get a port report. We'll gather that. Port report of Venderbite. Ah, we'll have some wine. 50 echoes. Oh, that wasn't worth it. Pause for refreshments at a Hungarian cafe. The coffee is dusty and the pasties are a little stale, but the gaggle of decaying violin players are skilled and surprisingly sprightly. They play Eat Out Our Hearts, My Darling. The king is tall, tall, and pop goes the weasel. With brio and conviction, they then start on the old dark ocean under the world, and you realize the time your ship awaits you. Well, we can sell it for 12. Really worth it. Off we go. Back to London. Since we have the fuel for it, we may as well take the shore-bound version of events. Guess he didn't want to fight. No worry, tired German. Have a good one. Just a nice mellow stream anyway. Alright, to London to dump off our Sphinx Stone. Ooh, 500 echoes. They leave scruff marks on the newly scrubbed decks and the great pleasure in tangling the rigging. They find nothing more dangerous than mouldy ship biscuits. I've lost my menace of suspicion down to 0. Let's collect our messages. Ah, Clathamont's tattoo parlor. The unflinching eye, you've seen such sights. Increase our mirrors by 2, very good. Lost 1 echo and 1 memory of distant shores. We'll deliver our Sphinx Stone. Don't really need any more of that, but we will. We will. Interesting. Read the morning paper. Yeah, we could purchase an elegant townhouse. But no. Let's go. Lost 5 Terra, lost 30 echoes. Got some more recent news. Ah, trouble and romance. Find yourself sharing a table with the likely lass. Don't think I've come down the docks just to see you. I've got business here, but alright, it did cross my mind that you might drop by. Shared warmth, new memories. It's harder to say goodbye this time. Yes, the ship that everyone watched sail off into the darkness, never to return. Absolutely. Still bound for there. Well, let's go and see the Admiralty. Or maybe not this time. No, we don't need anything from them. We'll take the cloudery air. She's good for increasing our needs. Officers. Surgeon. There we go. Lovely. That gives us 250 echoes. That's pretty good. We'll sell him Elementable Relic. A couple more of these outlandish artifacts. Only just to make up for the fact that I'm going to have to buy fuel for once. Buy fuel, buy some supplies. Still need 500 echoes. At least. How much do we have in the way of fuel now? Let's go for bust, I guess. I'm almost tempted just to go all the way to the top with the fuel. And always substitute our supplies along the way when it comes to it. No, we're saving for a good ship. Somewhere to the northeast. I believe we'll go up past the salt line this time. Ah, bats again. It's always bats. Gotta stop being impatient with them. They're too easy to wait out. And we will eat them. As is right and proper. Yeah, some of the items in this game are horrifying as well. Like the spider's silk linen, and Scintillac is some kind of maddening, I don't know, mushroom. I think it's glinty mushroom. And then there's like people will kill over a box of sunlight just for a taste of the sun. And the fact that your souls can be extracted and kept in a box. Or a bottle. Well, you take a mirror catch box. Yeah. A mirror catch box to the surface and you can capture just a teensy touch of sunlight. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's not meth, but... Ooh, what have we found? Frost found. It's like meth. The towers and ramps, galleries, stairs of ice, raised and spun like architect's honey dream. Take tea with the squatters, ask the squatters about the cask. Enter Frost found. Need 50 mirrors, only have 30. Let's create a port report. And then we'll take tea with them. A surprisingly warm welcome. We're keeping the steps for the game of truths. A helpful riddle fisher explains, as she fills your cup with the third time. Every year, people of Irem and Wither meet here for contests. She finishes vaguely, the difference between a question and a riddle. One day someone will prove themselves enough to enter the castle. You spend pleasant few hours while the tea is supplemented with Iremi liquors, pale Witheran beer, and something the riddle fisher describes blandly as snake cake. They offer you fuel and supplies before you leave. We keep enough to spare, the riddle fisher grins. From time to time a captain gets lost and comes up here, and we always feel bad for them. So we gained some fuel, and we lost all of our terror now. Any shops? Nope. No shipyard? Nope. Alrighty. And away we go. My plan is to finish at least one ambition about this game, and then go and play Sunless Skies after this. At least one ambition. Even if it's just the simple one, like buy a house and sleep in it. See what the bat finds. What did that say? Bright is some distance to the west. Except it didn't. Bit of a waste of fuel, if you ask me. Oh, not another Lightberg. I don't need to deal with those. Oh well, completing the map at least. Bit of a waste of fuel though. You can't even dock it bright, you silly bat. I suppose we'll continue going south a bit. Really did want to find Mount Palmerston at this point, but I'll take Guider's Morn if we could find it. And we'll avoid that shark. And the big crab. It sure is, but I don't want to tangle with him right now. He would probably hurt me greatly. Pigmote Isle. Oh. Of course, Pigmote Isle. I do enjoy a good overcooked, over-seasoned crustacean. As you step onto the quay, you hear the clamor, shouts, and shooting. You can see off in the distance smoke rising from beyond the hill, and dots of fire flecking the horizon. Two tiny figures stand a little further down the quay, unmoving as if awaiting your approach. The Tale of Pigmote Island, in which a delegation is made. Sorry. The following is an extract from the popular Diary of a Zee-Captain from London to Irem and what we did. There before we arrived, washed ashore on Mutton Island, and subsequently serialized the Unexpurgated Gazette. The author identity remains unknown. In which the delegation is made, a choice is presented, war is declared, and a most singular treasure is sought by all, and a new empire is found with tooth and claw. That's extreme levels of spice, Mad Duck. The delegation. The figures were rodents. To my left was Rattus Faber, wearing goggles, a blacksmith apron, and an assortment of tools. To my right, an unusually large guinea pig, wearing a helmet and breastplate reminiscent of nothing so much as the high Middle Ages. The rat stepped forward and bowed. Welcome, Captain, to Rat Star Island. I am Edgar, second chief engineer of the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The rat stepped back precisely the same moment with what appeared to be the ease of long habit. The guinea pig scuttled forward and made a declamatory chirp. Welcome, Captain, to the Isle of Caviar. I am Lady Augusta Devereux Swinch of the Blackwater Swinches, Seneschal to the King Grace-Nor, first of his name. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The two stood at attention, looking at me expectantly. I spoke to the chief engineer, I spoke to the seneschal. I had heard more than enough. Well, let's speak to the chief engineer. A rat in the making. I asked the chief engineer to elaborate. He looked at me a long, measured moment before speaking gruffly. We came to this island to make a home for ourselves, away from London, its cats, snuffers, its rat-skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, our clever hands, and made a beautiful city by the light of the rat star that shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat. The chief engineer nodded towards the distant hill. One day we braved the depths of the chicken woods, and from atop the Mount Ararat we plucked the rat star to be our light, our beacon. But the pigs of Cavi saw the light and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours. We will resist to our last breath. Will you join us in defeating them? It is indeed a ratus faber, an engineer rat, in fact. I spoke to the seneschal. How did an armored guinea pig manage to look regal? A knight out of habit. The seneschal cleared her throat with a delicacy to rival the duchess's own before speaking. Grace-Nor, the king, our lord and sovereign, full 7 months had sojourned on the sea, conquered this land, and won the southern main. Now no fortress against him shall remain, no city's wall be left for him to gain, save the rats that squeak behind mountain. Unlikely was the lamb of our deliverance, assured shall we be of our glories in their fall, and the lady I restored to our hall. The seneschal composed herself and then added, We saw truth and beauty by the light of Our Lady's eye on Mount Caveat, but the rats, with their guns and their chatter and their peasants' politics, stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back. They are a rabble, and we will rule them with the steel-shod velvet of our paws. Will you join us? No. Sound pompous, and I hate that. As much fun as it would be to broker peace, I do not like the guinea pigs and much prefer chief engineers. I extend the finger to the chief engineer, who shook it grimly. The seneschal hissed and chattered her teeth in disgust, but kept her distance. You've made the right choice, said the chief engineer. Let me show you around. Got some fuel and supplies. Oh, goodness, this is long. The chief engineer led me to the northern side of the island, skirting the chicken woods. We passed through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints as fierce-eyed rats shouldered their derringers and saluted the chief engineer. Soon we came upon a small colony, smaller than the infestations I had encountered in London. Flats, perhaps only 50 ratus faber altogether, working diligently to fortify their side of the island. The first thing I noticed was a brilliant light beaming out from the stump of the chicken wood. About 6 feet high, it bathed the whole settlement in a clean blue glow. It was almost too bright to look at. Yes, Mad Ducks. I also love to play the chief engineer, and I also love to set the station fully electrified. An efficient fishing operation was set up by the water. An albino rat mending nets while others stabbed sharpened sticks into the waves. Further inland was barracks where the sergeant barked drills at small squadron of fighters. My arrival drew attention to the several rats paused in their work to look at me curiously. Welcome to Marinia, said the chief engineer, voice warm with pride. Not much to look at now, but we were ones who have rousted the cavies. Take a stroll around while I summon the war council. With that he vanished into the mounds and left me to explore. Well, let's go visit the barracks. Approached the drill sergeant and went so far as to salute her, which earned me a grunt of satisfaction. The sergeant dismissed her troops and offered me a bit of chickenwood jerky to gnaw on. There's more of us below ground, she explained, but not enough. The cavies are bigger and there are more of them. We're better with weapons and haven't got the stuff to make them. Most of us came here as stowaways and brought nothing but food, tools, and the fur on our backs. We can fish, we can nibble. We can nibble the chickenwoods, but we can't make guns out of trees. The cavies are the same, came with their own steamer, and seem to have an endless supply, so we raid them sometimes, but there's so few of us we can never hold on to territory gained for long. That's of no consequence. All we want is to be left in peace to build our republic. And the Rat Star, she added thoughtfully after a moment. Of course, we want that too. Let's take a closer look at this Rat Star. It's not a star, of course. Not really. Try explaining that to the others. Chief Engineer doesn't want me working too hard to convince them. Says this is better for morale. But just look at it. Look! She offered me her goggles, and I managed to work them over just enough of one of my eyes to see the truth of what she was studying. It was scintillac, but unlike any I'd seen before. Blue as a sapphire, but more brilliant. Something about the clarity of its color was tremendously soothing. The chief science officer tittered with pleasure as I handed her goggles back. Those of us who have been to the Cavi side of the island and lived to tell of it say that there's plenty of glow here, plenty of bright in the water all around, but nothing like this. We took this from the island's center, Mount Ararat. Only it's not a mountain, of course, any more than this is a star. It's hollow. There's sweet water inside and coral crawling up the walls of it, but nothing that glows, save this. It's ours now, and no one can take it from us. Goat is delicious, especially when it's cooked in a curry. I do love me some good goat. I headed down to the beach. You ever heard of a rat mending a net? An albino rat smiled up at me from his mending work, looking dainty and a little shy. Chickenwood floats, especially when it's dried out and sealed. We're able to paddle out a bit and cast down nets. We come up with all sorts of things, blind fish, crabs, sometimes a chunk of broken tentacle. But the fishing could never be so good without the Rat Star, he beamed. I think it not only draws good fish and keeps the scary ones at bay. I know the chief science officer doesn't believe it, but I do. That light is our livelihood. Well, we're done with that. The bells of war council rang and I was summoned. Chief Engineer emerged from underground with a motley assortment of other rats. He introduced them as weapons experts, strategists, and field commanders. You're going to help us beat the cavies, he said, as a hard edge to her voice. But how exactly? 49% or 85% with this. I had a ship, I had cannons. We would steer her to the southern side of the island and have those uppity animals. A palpable hit. The rats gave me what information they possessed about the Cavi settlement, but I still had to improvise a great deal on the spot. A perfect storm of speed and stealth. Strength in arms favored us, our cannons letting fly a volley shot into the beach before the Cavies could scramble onto their grounded ship to man its guns. Screams and squeals filled the air. The enemy fled. A damp hush settled over My crew, as the smoke cleared to reveal the torn, bloodied bodies of guinea pigs littering the shore, a grim business, but I had honored my commitments to the rats and had found a wealth of Sitalak, ringing the beach to harvest despoils. Ooh, a goat korma is nice, especially with freshly made naan breads. Hello, Diggs. How are we? I'm just murdering me some guinea pigs, unfortunately, but they had to die. Oh, there we go. Pale Marinia. An occurrence, Pigmote Island. Might. Quality is now 5 adequate. Civilization quality is now 4 troubled. 3 conflicted, and I have 3 Scintillac and 1 bale of Parabola linen. The House of Cavi had fallen. Marinia was triumphant. All that remained were the celebrations of the continuation of our voyage. Oh, how we feasted long into the night then. Could invite them to join us. Intercede. They were crushed and defeated, and I could see their spirits broken. Without the light of the rat star to guide them, they need an advocate. Do we want to help the Cavies? I'm not sure. No, I think I'll be gone. Finish your diary entry in the final dregs of the rat's surprisingly good wine. They line up to salute you as you leave the victory banquet, escorting you to your ship through the foundations of their new republic. Now, one of this, Port Report Pigmote Island, that's all for now. A new nation has been founded. Do that, request repairs, visit the Cavi Ghetto, steal the Rat Star. Perhaps not. Well, we still quest for Mount Palmerston. I suppose we'll be away. We only have 9 fuel left. The shifting scales under the water there. Ace Chaven. Godfall. Interesting. The brawling bearded men who live here call themselves monks. They pay lip service to Saint Salus Stalactite, which fell from the roof, but their chief interest seems to be wine. Blood and shouting. Speak to the monks about their newest member. They need a foxfire candle. 5 of them, in fact. Escort you to his cell. Used to be a sailor, one whispers. They were hoping you could help us work out what's wrong. The old bearded man sits cross-legged and naked in the Godfall's smallest monastic cell. The sight of the group, he flinches. His wrinkled skin is covered in faded scars. No more freedom, he whispers. 10 of the clock. We sweep. 15 past 10 of the clock. We wash. There are orders. There must be orders. No more freedom, please. The monk hands him a mop and bids him to clean the entire chapel by first bell. The supplicant squeezes it tight. Yes, master, he whispers, tears of gratitude welling up in his eyes as he scampers off. There is an awkward silence. She'd make a very devout monk, one of the other ventures, once you finally get him into the habit. There's not much we can learn from that. Well, we could give them our hunting trophy. Trophy inspires the monks to feasts of bragging. This one broke a giant albino moray's neck. This one wrestled a heptachir. A third punched his way out of a bound shark. A fourth, and so on. Are largely forgotten, but there are truths of note in among all the tipsy boasting. Oh, lots of good things to get. Let them tell you of past and present events in the monastery. They're eager to talk about their history. The stalactite, they assure you, was one of the citadels of the starved men who dwell in the roof. When it fell, few of its occupants survived and become the monks' progenitors. How does that work, you wonder, with their vow of celibacy? They become vague, and you're suddenly eager to speak of the details of passing shipping. On Newport report. Guessing I need something else. Okay. Well, I think we're going to have to turn around and start heading for London. Because unfortunately, they just do not have the fuel to continue. So I'm guessing we're going to find another pirate poet on this boat. Hello, Rusky. How's it going? Ah, over the port side again. Once again, you are victorious. Another 400 echoes. Pirate poet holds herself up over the rail. Another battle well fought, Captain. Few earned a second verse. Along with her freedom prize, she presents a gift, a cask of wine, served from the sinking vessel by her own mighty arms. They say it is a fine vintage. My men were saving it to toast our victory against you, perhaps. Perhaps you would join me in a drink to them? The current, your encounters with the pirate quarters now. You have once again defeated the pirate poet, and I got a cask of mushroom wine. Aha. And thankfully we have the fog to hide us from the crabs. We found some new things this time, but we didn't really find what I was looking for, which is Mount Palmerston. What we will do is go and grab ourselves some more Sphinx stone to carry to London. What? Come on. Totally clear of that. Get out of here, jellyfish. We'll lose some terror. Gain a fragment. We'll carry some more Sphinx stone to London. The stones weep and Unmaker advises you. Ignore them, unless they flood your hold, of course. Then you should probably drop them over. Don't tell anyone I said that. Yeesh. I suppose we can make a quick jaunt over to Venderbite. Pick up some fuel. But it's so expensive. We can totally make it to London on 4. Especially if I turn off the lights. We are far from light or hope. Terror is increasing rapidly, they say. Let's visit the sisters. Phoebe is a story to tell of 2 lovers parted by water, of a raven that carried messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on a table as she speaks, as if 'tis song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Her attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room to the false stars glittering in the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The undersea shimmers below, islands like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands, vast spined things pulse in the depths. There is a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, says Phoebe quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there, you finish the last course. The scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. Very good. Perhaps not. I think that's going to do it for me, though, everyone. Thank you so much all for joining me. We're going to put in at London, clear up our salt sphinx stone, and I think I'm going to head off. Deliver our sphinx stone, which gives us 2,157. And we'll go to the Admiralty survey. 5 echoes. 30 echoes. And a bite. Are you quite certain this is the report you wish to make? So be it. 10 echoes. Chapel of Lights. 20 echoes. The Avid Horizon. Ooh. A visit from Mr. Sachs. Alright, good night everyone. Thank you so much for coming out again. I really do appreciate it. We love to see you here, and it's good fun just to sit around and play video games with you all. Bye-bye.